Hi, this is Stuart Sutton at System 7 Coaching. As you can see, I've got quite a few apps on my iPad. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on apps in this session. It's a very short session. The next session we will literally go into apps you want to use and how to use them. Right now I'm going to basically show you how to use your iPad applications as a generality. In other words, how do you move them? How do you create folders? Things like that, okay? So let me go ahead and set my my screen so that you have a little bit better look at it, okay? Let me go ahead and set that so that you have a little bit better look. How about I just go back to something like this? Nah, that doesn't look all that good, does it? Let's do something a little brighter. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and set that as my home screen. And that, I think, makes my applications a little easier to see for you. All right, the iPad screen has some really nice applications that you'll want to use. You can see this is my calendar, and it is synced to my calendar on Gmail. So when I'm on my PC and I put something on my calendar, it does go to my calendar on my iPad. I really like the fact that all my contacts, my calendar, and my email is synced in. So let's talk about this real quick, okay? How do you add applications? Well, you do that by clicking on the App Store. That's the blue app that says App Store. Okay, now all mine are up to date. So if I want to purchase one, I'm going to go to categories and decide which category I want. So if I want a health and fitness application, I'll click on that. And here's some really good ones. Let's just say that you decide, hey, I want to calorie count. So you would click on that and then you would download it. You can see that it's free. It'll tell you how much it is. It's a calorie counter and diet track finder. There's all kinds of cool stuff like that. So that's how easy it is to download an application. If you have to pay for it, then you do need to put in your Apple account number. And you did that when you bought your iPad and synced it into iTunes, okay? So that's how easy it is to add an application. Now let's say that you have this application right in front of you, but you realize, wait a minute, I use this application a whole lot more than I use other ones. So you press your finger on the application and you'll see that all of them start shaking. You see the X? If you press the X on one of those, it will delete that, okay? If you want to move it somewhere, you move it like this. I would just move it over there, all right? When I press the button on my iPad to bring it back to normal, you know, that's the button on the frame of the iPad, all right? I'm going to refer to that as the master button from now on, okay? So let's just say that you look over here and you go, you know, I want to use this one quite a bit. I want to move it to a closer screen. So you press down, wait till they start shaking, then you take that and you move it and hold it between the screens. And then it'll move and it'll set it right there in the next screen. That's how easy that is, okay? Now, because I tend to have a lot of apps, and I don't have, believe me, I don't have nearly as many as my teenage son, but if I want all of my apps that are alike in the same folder or right together, I'm going to take this Facebook app, I'm going to move it right into social, I'm going to hold it over it, and I'm going to let go, and it will go into that folder. Now, I'm going to click the master, and when I push that, it will show me the apps that are within that folder. I've got Facebook, Hootsuite, Twitter, Emo, and it looks like I've got Facebook again. But I must have forgotten the last time I did this. But that's how you create folders. The way that you actually start a folder, let's say we want to start one with news, okay? And let's say that we want to take, let me just find another one here. How about Bloomberg? I'm going to take Bloomberg. I'm going to hold my finger down on Bloomberg until everything starts shaking like that. And I'm going to take it down to USA Today, and I'm going to hold it over it. And when I do that, it will then go under the folder. USA Today and Bloomberg will both be in the same folder. So that's going to be my folder for reading, okay? Flipboard is a reading application. I'm going to put that in the same one. So I'm going to put that in that same folder. Now my reading material is in one folder. Okay, it's titled Finance, but I can change that to something else if I want. But it's very easy to create a folder. And I have, for example, all my real estate applications in one folder. See that? My realty, my examples of websites, zip forms, realtor.com, open home, those are all real estate applications, okay? So that's the way you do that. You create a folder and you put others into it. Now, as I move my screen, you see the ones along the bottom? Those always stay there. The reason those stay there is because those are the most often used. I don't want them changing. I use them more than any others. Well, let's say you decide, well, you know what, I don't use that one very often. So I'm going to hold my finger down and I'm going to move that sucker up because I don't use music very often. But you know what I do use quite a bit is new annotate. So I'm going to move that down and put it right there. So now I have my static applications along the bottom, and those are the ones that I use the most. I use Dropbox, Evernote, New Annotate, email, and my browser more than any other, so I want them right there along the bottom, okay? So those are some basic applications that you're going to use to navigate and use the applications on your screen of your iPad. If you have other questions, don't hesitate to let me know. I'm going to, in the next session, cover some of the specific applications, why to use them, and how to use them. Once again, this is Stuart Sutton at System 7 Coaching. Hope you make it a powerful day.